Welcome. My name is Jeff Chastain. I am professional EOS implementer and founder and CEO of Admentus. When I'm talking with entrepreneurial business owners, I typically get many of the same types of questions about EOS and those interested in EOS looking into EOS for the first time. So I just wanted to answer a few of those here, kind of give you a really high level overview and just see what EOS is and how it might impact your business. So before I dive into the details here, I want to take you on a quick little journey here through really the life cycle of most entrepreneurial startup businesses. So in the early days, entrepreneurs just have ideas on top of ideas kind of thing, 20 new ideas a day. And on occasion, one of them solid enough that we can actually build a business around that. So they get together with their core little group of employees here, start this business, start moving forward through that startup phase, just doing whatever they can really to get that product or that solution to market, find somebody interested enough to pay them for it before they run out of money. That's basically the key to the startup phase here. But once that hamster wheel gets rolling here, we're really starting into that growth mode where, okay, new customers coming in, adding new product lines, things like that, anything it takes for the customer to give us another check kind of thing. So suppose we make some kind of widget or whatever, the customer calls up, says, hey, I know you make blue widgets. We've gotten several of those. They come really well. I've got another use case over here. I need some red widgets. Can you do that? And we say, sure, we can. No problem. Because honestly, we say yes to whatever it takes in order to get the new business there and the new cash. So customer says, great. I need 5,000 of them. Okay, sure, we can do that. And I also need them delivered next Tuesday. Sure, no problem. Again, we can do whatever you need here somehow. We'll figure it out. And yeah, I need them actually delivered over to Europe here to our operations over in Germany. It's like, sure. And at that point, you kind of hang up the phone and you look at your team and they say, what in the heck did you just agree to? But in reality, you pull everything together, pull everybody together, you get it delivered, and that turns into really one of the folk tales of the success of your business going forward. Now, what we don't see in doing this, because honestly it creeps up on us, is every time we do one of those new custom orders, bring on a new customer that's got things they do a little bit differently here, then the complexities start building up in our business. And really before you know it, things are just not quite as fun anymore. We've really lost that fun issue because we're dealing with stuff like people issues. That, okay, we brought in a new person over in the fulfillment group to help expedite these orders going out, and they're not quite doing things the way we'd want. Balls getting dropped more often than we'd like, and it's like, okay, is that a question or an issue of the person, or is it an issue somewhere else in the business? And honestly, we don't really know. That it feels like coming in on a daily basis now, we're basically sitting here riding a knife edge. It's like, okay, are we going to be able to keep the wheels on this bus today, tomorrow, etc., going forward? Or at what point is this going to fall apart? Because it's duct tape and baling wire kind of thing, trying to keep this business together as we continue to make more sales. And at some point, this has got to get better, right? But if we start looking at the numbers, where it's actually not. Our profit lines are actually shrinking kind of a thing, that as we continue to add on more customers, add on more people in order to deliver for those customers, we're not getting the continued growth, continued profits that we wanted or we'd expect. And it just feels like we've hit this glass ceiling within our business. Is okay, we just can't seem to grow any further. And as an entrepreneurial, as the owner kind of thing, you're really struggling because you don't necessarily have an MBA, a background in business. You're out reading all these books, listening to podcasts, listening to whatever seminar kind of a thing on, and just it seems like nothing's working here in the business. And at this point, this is really where a system, an operating system like EOS comes into play. Now, that term operating system, I get questioned on quite a bit, that this is not a piece of software. This is not Mac versus Windows kind of operating system. An operating system from a business standpoint is simply what makes up your business. How does your business run? What's the Acme Solutions way of doing business? A combination of people and processes, tools, products, everything that goes into your business that makes it what it is your operating system. So whether you think you have an operating system or not, by definition, you basically do. It's just a question as to, okay, is it a structured, organized operating system, or is it something just that's put together by happenstance? Now, EOS is the entrepreneurial operating system, was put together many years ago by Gino Wickman, who's a lifelong entrepreneur there, enjoys working with entrepreneurs, and it's been implemented in well over 8,000 businesses here as of this point. But the idea is that it's written with that entrepreneurial mindset in place, that it's just a simple set of processes, of tools, a way of doing things that is really geared towards that smaller entrepreneurial type business that just helps them get clear, simple results moving forward. So the way it does this is it focuses on 6 key areas of the business, and it really looks at these key characteristics here, these key areas to say, okay, whatever the issues you're running into, whatever the challenges you're running into, are most likely symptoms of one of these 6 different areas. So we start off with a wheel-like model here that looks like this, that's got your business really at the center of this model. The very first component that we're looking at, in many ways I consider the most important, critical one to get started with here, is that vision component. And what this basically boils down to is simply who you are as a business, where are you trying to go as a business, and how are you going to get there, and then making sure that everybody within your company is 100% on the same page with that same vision. So I describe it like this. Suppose I was to walk into your business, find John standing by the water cooler here and ask him, hey John, what does Acme Solutions really do here? And John kind of stammers a minute, looks around a little bit. It's like, okay, is this a test? What's going on? And he makes something up off of cuff here. Just doesn't really know what's going on here, but just makes something up. Okay, that's interesting. Can you tell me about your role? What do you do for Acme Solutions? Like, well, I'm over in the fulfillment department. And he makes his quick haste exit here just to get out of this conversation. Now do a different scenario here. I walk into your business and I run into Jane in the break room. Hey Jane, how's it going? Doing well? Okay. Well, what does Acme Solutions do here? Well, we're actually the #1 widget maker here in the Southwest. We've got 2 different product lines. They are just selling as fast as we can make it, kind of a thing here. We've actually got a new product line that we're working on that we're trying to launch out in Q1 of next year. And at the same time, we're going to go open up the Southeast region of the US and bring manufacturing online over there and just be able to serve twice the market here that we're going forward. Really excited, really enthusiastic about, okay, this is the direction of the company. It's like, okay, great, there's one. So Jane, now what's your role? How do you fit into this whole picture? Well, I'm over in the fulfillment area, and I'm actually leading up the initiative right now to work on streamlining all of our fulfillment operations and make sure we've got standardized processes there, quality assurance there, so that when we do bring on that second product line, bring on the Southeast region over here, that everything's just operates smoothly, we can handle the increased volume, everything works great. Obviously, Jane here is really excited. She knows exactly where her place is in the business. She feels like she's a part of it here. So the question is, and it's a fairly obvious answer, do you want John over here working for your business who is mostly there just for a paycheck, he's punching a clock, or do you want Jane here who's got that enthusiasm, that excitement here to sit there and drive your business forward? And that's really where it comes down to vision, is do you have a clear enough vision spelled out, and do you have everybody on your team bought into that vision to be able to move your company forward? Now, the second component we're looking at here is the people side. And this is really just an extension of your vision here, that, okay, in order to have a successful business, you've got to have the right people sitting in the right seats. And right people is just simply, do you have the right people here that exhibit those core values that want to be part of your business? And right seats is simply says, okay, do they have the talent? Do they have the expertise? Do they have the time, the capacity to do whatever role they're sitting in? And it's the combination of those two that really puts you with the right people, the right seats, getting your team all together, all working together in an efficient and productive manner. The third component that we look at is the data component. So I see this many times in entrepreneurial type organizations with those early days entrepreneurs that started out the company with just them and a handful of people. They've got their hands in everything just by necessity here, that, okay, I've got to be able to know what's going on in sales and in marketing and finance, everything here. I've got to know what's going on in the business on a daily basis because honestly, there's nobody else to do it. But as the company starts growing and starts to scale, they have a difficult time stepping back and releasing control of those areas and handing off and saying, okay, Mary, you're good to run finance. I don't have to be in your office every other day asking, okay, what's the numbers look like today? What's accounts receivable look like today? That Mary's got a set of numbers, a scorecard that says, okay, if these 3, 4 numbers that Mary produces on a weekly basis or on a regular basis here say that, okay, all of these areas are green, then I, as the entrepreneur, I, as the business owner, don't have to be sitting there standing over Mary's shoulder and saying, okay, what's going on today? How are we doing on accounts receivable today? Because I can see that scorecard and know that, okay, yes, I trust the numbers. I trust that if these numbers are all where they should be, then my business is moving forward in this right manner here. I don't have to sit there and be worried about or get into all of my be standing over my people's back shoulder kind of a thing, trying to figure out what's going on. I can trust them. I trust that I hired the right people because they're showing me the numbers that show me what I want to see, show me that everything's on track. Now, when we get these 3 components, vision, people, and data strong here, it causes the organization, the business really to become transparent, and issues start to fall out, which is perfectly normal. Every business goes through struggles. Every business deals with issues. But the key here in dealing with those issues is that in order to be successful, you've got to get to the base. You got to get to the ability to find out what is the root cause, what's the root issue here, not what the symptom is, but what's the root issue that we're dealing with. Define a solution for it, not sit here and discuss it ad infinitum forever and ever. Actually define an actionable solution and go solve it once and for all. That it's when we sit there and discuss the same issues this week that we talked about last week, we talked about the week before, there's no productivity in that. You're just spinning your wheels at that in business and you're not moving forward. So we've got to get to the point of actually addressing those issues. The 5th key component over here is the process one. And this is simply an entrepreneurial approach to defining what standard operating procedures are for Acme Solutions, for your business here. And it's not the big 6-inch SOP manual that you spend 2 years building and nobody ever looks at. This is show me just the top few processes. What are the key core processes to your business? Define those out and get everybody on the same page, following those processes with accountability. We understand that, okay, manufacturing production here is going to follow these 5 steps in order to get the product out the door. This is the same way we do things each and every time. It increases productivity. It increases quality assurance. Just makes your business move so much faster when everybody's on the same page, again, doing things the same way. And lastly here, we've got the traction component. Now, traction it's set up this way and intentionally here, where vision's on top, traction's on bottom. And I look at this as the old story adage of how do you eat an elephant? Well, your vision is the elephant here. It's the big, huge goal that we're aiming for. We can't operate on that on the ground level on a daily basis. We've got to bring that vision down to the ground, take one bite at a time here, make this actionable to say, okay, what do I need to accomplish here this week, this quarter, this year, in order to reach our goals in your vision here? And adding the accountability, adding the discipline here at that traction level to reach your vision is the absolute key here. There's a little quote here by Gino Wickman, again, founder of EOS here. It says, vision without traction is hallucination. And this is really where I see a lot of entrepreneurial organizations struggle. That again, in the early days, it was the entrepreneur, it was the visionary here with his small or her small core team. And if they needed to make a change, if they needed to make an adjustment, it was an immediate turn right there. It was a very quick, very agile organization. And as they start growing, as things start expanding, all of a sudden it starts basically feels like you're moving in the mud. You just cannot make those course changes. You cannot make those direction changes here. And you just lose all traction within the business. It just feels like you're spinning your wheels. So that's really where this accountability, where this discipline comes into play, is to say, okay, we've got everybody pulling in the same direction. Everybody understands where we're going. Everybody's working together. The entire business is just one well-oiled machine here, all working together, all moving the same direction, all profitable. And you as the entrepreneur, as the owner, can really just step back and basically take your golf outings, take whatever, and trust that, okay, again, I've got the right people here. I've got the numbers I can see. I know what's going on. Again, just everything works the way it's supposed to. And that's really the ideal realm for any business once we get those 6 key areas 100% strong. So again, trying to keep this fairly short, fairly brief here. If you've got more questions, feel free to jump over to the website, admentus.com. You can actually go download the first chapter of Traction book over there, kind of get a quick read on that, see how you like it right there. Again, I'm open for any questions. If you want to jump on, feel free to do a coaching session with you and your leadership team, kind of give you a little bit more of a deep dive on this and show you some of the things that EOS can really bring to your business. But again, just wanted to get a little bit of this information out there. Hope everything's well. Take care, and we'll talk later. Thanks.